Good morning and happy Easter. As we prepare to experience Easter today, you may find yourself slightly confused because this will indeed be a different Easter experience than we ever have had before. Churches are closed. Schools are closed. People are having to stay away from others for fear of getting sick. This of course goes against our traditions of family and friends, and going to church to see church family and worship together. Despite all of this, I still know that God is in control. This day will be different, but what is important remains unchanged. As I prepared to share today, I stumbled on my Easter post from 2 years ago. It still rings true, and I'd like to share it with you here. From Facebook, April 21, 2019. We just finished this Easter morning meal. It is a tradition that comes from both Irene's and my family. Even in times when my mother was gravely ill, I remember packing a cooler and having this Easter breakfast with her in her hospital room. It contains cold ham and sausage, hard-boiled eggs, young onions and radishes. It also has fresh ground horseradish root that will cure anything that ails you. It's been my family's Easter tradition my entire life, and even before I was ever even thought of. When I met Irene, I was very happy that her family also celebrated almost the same way, and now we have melded that tradition into our own for over 2 decades. Traditions are a touchstone. Different years and different seasons. Some are off the chart, and some were so minimal that I worried the tradition might be lost. What hasn't changed? Jesus. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him. Amen. To everything there is a season. And a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to cast away. A time to rend, and a time to sow. A time to keep silence, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time of war, and a time of peace. Ecclesiastes 3:1-8.
Coming from Polish heritage, that's my sweet 95-year-old dad with our children. Easter was very special. Our family would go to sunrise service and then come home to Easter brunch. Our Polish tradition is a blessed basket of traditional Polish food: kielbasa, ham, breads, hard-boiled eggs, radishes, young onions, and horseradish, fresh ground of course. This basket was blessed by our parish priest on Saturday. Since moving to Iowa, some of our traditions have changed since Polish kielbasa is not available here. We keep our family tradition and have introduced new traditions to our family. We welcome the new and keep the old. It brings a refreshing addition to our home. Happy Easter!
Our memories of Easter at church are different for our backgrounds. There were weather-dependent egg hunts at my grandparents Charlie and Carrie Rudensky. She was the best at hiding eggs, and my 2 older siblings and I each got our own hunting time. Levon Lindhorst, 98 years, remembers wearing hats to church for Easter church service. I got to go to the hat shop with grandbottoms. We always tried to fly a paper kite with a message to God on Easter Sunday. It was not successful very often. A good day when our cousins, 2 blocks away, could see it over the trees. We used to plant a few cut potatoes on Good Friday, per Old Farmer's Almanac. When our kids were old enough, we enjoyed singing songs before, during and after Easter morning church. This was the only time we got to sing the special Easter praises.
My family would take turns gathering at one another's home, share a potluck meal, and then we'd all go outside, even the adults, and hunt for Easter eggs with our names on them. We would especially help the little ones in looking for their Easter eggs.
Easter sunrise service has always been my favorite celebration of Jesus' resurrection and the fulfillment of God's promise and constant love. Over the years I participated in the sunrise service as a member of the youth at church, continuing with our kids participating in this worship service. It usually included breakfast served by the youth, photo of Rick and me, and a cross that I want to make from a pallet.